Back here at the Siegel Center, the crowd is listed as a sellout, but with all the inclement weather outside, folks are a little slow to get inside, but it's always a great atmosphere here in the Atlantic 10. UMass at 11-15, meanwhile VCU sitting at 20-5. Here's the lineup. This VCU lineup has basically been entrenched the last half of the season. On the other side, Daniel Rivera getting a chance to get back into the lineup for the Minutemen. Frank Martin in his third season as the UMass head coach. He has been very successful at South Carolina, at Kansas State, 334 career wins. Ryan Odom, he's here in his second season at VCU. For VCU, it's their 24th consecutive winning season, and it's their fourth straight year with 20 wins or more. Bamgboye, who has had such a solid year offensively. Sean Hull is at center court. We're ready to go. Atlantic 10 basketball kicks off our triple header on CBS Sports Network, and VCU controls the tip. Man-to-man defense by UMass. They will play a little zone against this VCU squad. Russell, quick pitch inside for Clark. Reverses his field, no good. Bamgboye's putback is no good.
Yeah, it's a good sign already. UMass has to make this a one-shot game. They got to control the paint. And there's that guy right there, as I said in the open, inside and outside, unorthodox sometimes, but he can score the basketball.
Overall, fourth in the league in scoring at 17.2 points per game. Shulga nails the three.
Never a good sign, especially when they're playing in the Siegel Center. They average almost 10 threes per game. Once they get the tempo going and they're playing in space like that, very tough to beat the Rams.
In fact, their threes per game is a school record for a season. That tells you about the success they've had. They try to feed it inside. Good catch, not a good finish, though, by Hankins Sanford. Gets his own rebound. Little bump by Worthy, and he's able to nail the soft jumper.
Yeah, Worthy struggling from three this year, but he's been able to get inside the paint and make some shots, particularly wants to go right. They're going to have to stay in front of him, keep him out of the lane.
He's had a couple of big games this year against Dayton, also against Fordham. Hit that jumper at the end of regulation to send the game into triple overtime. Bamgboye into the paint, backing his way in, switched hands, gets the friendly roll.
Anytime you can get any type of production from him, because usually it's Bamgboye and Shulga. I mean, the lead guards. I mean, it's really, really, really a good sign for VCU.
Yeah, he has 19 points in the last 4 games. Rivera, he's kicked out. He almost stepped out of bounds. I don't know how he didn't step out of bounds.
We'll act like we didn't see that one.
Wow. Well, Pat Driscoll was right there. Here's Diggins. Diggins trying to force the left hand, no good. He gets his own rebound, goes up, no foul is called. The ball is deflected and into the hands of Russell.
Oh, Russell, a little dipsy-do there. They're two of the better shot-blocking teams in the country you're seeing today.
Bamgboye, quick first step, finger roll like George Gervin going right to the rim.
I mean, he can really shoot the basketball, but with this athleticism, if he can get a 2-foot jump in the lane, that's way too easy. And what you know about George Gervin there, Tom?
Well, I had a poster of him when I was a kid. The Iceman cometh. Let's take a look at our keys to the game. What do you got there, Chris Walker?
Listen, it's real simple. Less than 10 turnovers in this building. If you turn the ball over, you can forget it. Dominate the glass. UMass is a very good rebounding team, but so is VCU, so they're going to have to keep it competitive. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Even though UMass gets up and down the floor with 71 possessions, Tom, in this game, VCU wants to continue to make them play so they can get up and down the floor and do what they do best and create turnovers.
Worthy caught inside, goes to the free throw line for Hankins Sanford. His jumper's no good. Here come the Rams. They're 3 for their last 3. Russell for 3, no good, in and out. We watched him at shoot-around today. He did not miss his 3-pointers. Bamgboye, another quick step, doesn't get the shot to go, but he's going to the free throw line.
Yeah, they're going to have to get, they're trying to take away the 3-point line. That's going to open up Shulga, open up Bamgboye getting to the line, as you see here, getting an angle. I mean, it's just can't let that happen. Just cannot. You really have to do a good job of fighting through and those screens, and Diggins has to do a better job. And the last thing I'm going to say on those keys is for UMass, and you mentioned earlier, they're struggling from 3. Like they've got to make some threes. Just got to guard that line and don't let them make triples.
Bamgboye missed the first free throw. The foul was on Jinge. It's his first. Bamgboye for the year, 67% from the free throw line. He averages nearly 16 per game. And now the second shot. And it's no good. Hard off the back of the iron, and the rebound is out of bounds. They'll say that Clark touched it last.
It always amazes me when guys are just excellent three-point shooters and they struggle from the line. That was one thing. It always perplexes me, Tom.
It is amazing because he is such a good shooter.
Yeah, you don't know if it's a lack of concentration. I mean, very good player. You see with the extending the pressure, as I said before, tempo, try to push UMass to playing a little bit quicker than they want to, even though they're used to playing with a ton of possessions.
That was an acrobatic shot by Diggins, hit off the back of the iron, no good. Bamgboye goes inside, cut off by Hankins Sanford. Worthy snaking up the floor, Worthy into the paint, up top Hankins Sanford for three, no good. And you mentioned the three-point shooting, they're 358th in college basketball. And that ball was blocked away by Daniel Rivera.
They're both getting up and down the floor. No one's afraid to push the basketball.
Diggins can't convert. Ball deflected. Yeah, UMass, they average 71 possessions per game, which is tops in the Atlantic 10. Bamgboye has it blocked away by Rivera again.
Bamgboye may need a sub. He's getting a little bit out of control, I might say. Trying to force the issue, maybe a pull-up, maybe pull it out and get a better shot.
Jinge's foul going up. That foul is going to be on Clark. It'll be his first.
And one thing you gotta have to watch about this UMass squad, you see that strong drive there to get to the foul line by Jinge. They've been battling sickness, Tom. You know, so again, that's tough for some of these players and the staff, I might add.
Yeah, Frank Martin was telling us today that he's been battling it the last couple weeks. Jinge missed the first free throw as Zeb Jackson and Furman check in. Bamgboye checks out, so does Bamgboye. Ryan Odom will use a deep bench.
It's the strength of their team, is their numbers. Very athletic. They don't lose much when they sub. Zeb Jackson as good as any guard in this league.
One of the better defensive players in the Atlantic 10. 2-point game, under 16 to play, first half.
Tom, that was UMass playing zone now. A lot of that to keep Zeb Jackson, because once he gets in the lane, he is a terror to keep him out of the lane.
Clark, they left him alone. He can't convert. He was probably too open on that one. Hankins Sanford pulls down the rebound. Rivera got position and can't convert the easy layup. He wanted the contact, but forgot about the basket.
Yeah, very athletic, but as I said, the length of VCU. Good pass. After what happened last night, Tom, I don't know if I want to be in Lawrence right now.
Yeah, Bill Self, he spent a little time at the end of that game going over some things in his mind.
Was not happy.
Russell to the baseline for Furman. Furman had a shot, goes out for Jackson Verimi. A better shot, and he rattles it home.
Yeah, inside-out three is what they practice, that step-in three. That's just tremendous for Zeb Jackson and his confidence.
Ryan Odom told his team today at shoot-around, he said, I want you to be aggressive, but I want you to be smart with your aggressiveness. It's a 5-point game. UMass has gone more than 4 minutes since its last field goal.
We're talking about a very experienced team. Rivera, he's so good getting there, so nifty and crafty and very athletic. You got to keep him out of the interior. Once he explodes, it's hard to stop him.
They weren't sure how much he would play today because he had a cortisone shot in his knee, but he was moving around quite well at shoot-around. Russell pulls that foot back for three, no good. And a rebound pulled down by Jinge. Diggins has one bucket so far. He can get 1,000 points tonight, or reach his 1,000th point tonight. Came in 17 shy of that one. Good pass down. That's going to be a traveling by.
Oh, no.
No, a foul on Russell.
Wow. See that again. Rivera with the pass. Definitely looked like a foul.
Yeah, I thought there would be a traveling violation there more than anything else. All right, so they'll inbound along the baseline. Damjanec, he probably had a chance to get that bucket to go in. As Jennings checks in for the first time for VCU. Diggins down low. Rivera corrals it. He's stuck, though. I think he's traveled already, and a pushing foul is on Jackson. That'll be the third team foul on VCU.
Fans don't like that. That's that flex action. They run that 1-4 action. Got a little push in there, too. You see nudge him. Jackson definitely got a little nudge in.
A little tap. Now Rivera, again, he's been battling that sore knee, so he's been given a little extra time. And look, he's limping off the floor.
Playing with some pain, as they say when I was growing up, Tom, you may know there's a difference between pain and injury. So he's playing with some pain for sure.
He becomes 50. He inbound the basketball, little flex action again. Diggins covered by Shulga. Quick first step cut off by Jackson. That's a good find underneath to make this a 1-point game.
I've said before that Masul can really score the basketball, but he's not a selfish player. He should find players as well if they're open. This
Shulga cans the three. That's his second three-pointer. Again, they average 9.7 threes made per game, the most in school history. Diggins, step back three. You like that shot? No good.
Oh!
And they tried the throwdown by Hankins Sanford. He's fouled.
Flying to the rim. I think it was on Zeb Jackson. That may be his second foul. Shulga with the separation. Such a tough shot to make. He's one of the best. And getting to the rim. Zeb Jackson just late. The South Carolina transfer. Flying through the rim.
Yeah, that is his second foul, so he's probably going to have to take a seat. Russell's at the scorer's table. 2 threes already for Shulga, as Hankins Sanford, a 56% free throw shooter, converts the first one. Diggins will check out. Back in is Worthy.
Yeah, UMass is a team that if they could get healthy, Tom, so obviously they're battling some sickness, but they were playing great at the beginning of the year. Some injuries. You know, they probably got the only staff with about 20 head coaches on the staff. Got a lot of experience on the staff.
They do have experience.
Oh, my goodness. And they're extending a little pressure as well. But they can just get their rotation back the way it was to start the season. Could be a problem for people in D.C.
The zone again by UMass. Shulga thought about shooting over the zone. Shot clock down to 10. Shulga will take the three, and it's good. He splashes it home.
Yeah, he's on the heater right now. Great pass there. See Brandon Jennings, you know he's my favorite player from VCU. Get to the lane, under control, pivots, and drops the nice and easy three-point shot to Shulga.
Shulga is on the doorstep of 1,500 points for his career. Michael Bell to the baseline, up top for Shulga again. He's open. Does he feel it? Yes, he does.
Tempo, tempo, tempo. That's what I'm saying. When they get the ball up and down the floor, they have so many weapons, Tom. They're hard to stop.
He goes over 1,500 career points. He's got 12. He's 4 for 4 from beyond the arc. And the lead is 8, 19-11. Little jab step by Worthy. Worthy to the free throw line, 17-footer, grazes the front of the rim. I think the fans are going to think that they had something to do with that because they were counting the shot clock down.
Very intimidating place to play. You said something about the snow being here, so look at that dime right there.
Beautiful pass, and Frank Martin wants a timeout. Shulga not only cans the threes, but is also dishing and finding his teammates. Run for VCU. There's the story so far, the three-point shooting. Shulga's got 4. UMass is 0 for 2. And again, we mentioned UMass does not live by the three-pointer. They average 29% from beyond the arc, which is 358 in college basketball.
Well, you know there's only 364 schools. Just for people that out there that did not know that, it goes to show you how they do not utilize it, the three-point shot.
Jerry Pop predicts that right now VCU is out of the NCAA tournament, despite the fact They have a net ranking of 35.
I'm going to fight with Jerry about that. I don't know if Jerry's listening. I'm going to fight with him, Tom.
20 wins.
20 wins. I mean, a quality team. Obviously, we can go through quad ones and we can talk about the losses that they've had, the few that they've had. But this team is every bit as good as any team in the country. And they're an experienced team. They make shots. They play with a purpose. But they're going to have to continue to win.
Tariq Foster tried to find Hankin Sanford underneath, but it was deflected. Foster was a recruit of Mike Rhodes before he went to Penn State here at VCU. Furman, he's got some easy shots underneath. That was a higher degree of difficulty, but it was a good look by Jennings.
Yeah, but again, I tell you, this kid is going to be special for them. Homegrown, knows how to get in the lane, plays with pace, and just drops it to the dunker spot. And Furman, all he has to do is catch and finish.
Damjanec gave up the basketball, gets it back, goes off the glass, no good. Ball deflected. Jingae goes up, and he's blocked and fouled. And he'll get a couple of shots.
See Jennings again, shot fake. Again, on balance, control, dropping the dime. Great catch there by Furman. He was a starter last year. And, again, did not start a game this year, and they started Bamgboye, and it happened where he now started the rest of the year. And I actually think he's a weapon coming off the bench.
No doubt.
You start the freshman, and you bring him in. After that, it looks like there's no letdown with this team.
Yeah, started all 38 games last year as Jingae missed the first free throw. Zeb Jackson will check in with 3 personal fouls. Excuse me, 2 personal fouls. As Shulga will check out. Hankin Sanford will check out. Damjanec will check out as well for UMass.
Put Jackson back in the game. Coach Odom's worried about rhythm right now, not taking any chances. Zeb to get out of this game mentally.
I think he's also relying on the fact that he's a veteran guy.
Exactly. I was going to say that was the next point I was going to make is, hey, you're in the game, you should know better not to foul. So young players could learn that sometimes it's better to give up a basket and not foul to stay in the game to help your team.
Russell, extra pass. Jackson thought about it. 4 on the shot clock. Jackson lets it fly. No good. Bell runs down the rebound. And a foul is called on VCU. During the month of February, CBS Sports celebrates Black history, recognizing its influence on our culture and society. Actually, they called that foul against UMass. It's the 3rd team foul on the Minutemen.
Minutemen are playing zone.
Bell for 3. High arcing shot, no good. Ball tipped around, and Russell was fouled by Foster.
And Bell has struggled from 3 all year long, just continuing to develop that shot. But what they do so well is rebound their misses, similar to UMass, except that VCU can make more shots.
Substitutions. Bamgboye will check in. Jennings checks out. Clark is back in. Bell checks out.
Just got so many options. It's a good problem to have, Tom.
Good problem to have, particularly as you get deeper into the season.
That's why this team could be very dangerous if they make it to the NCAA tournament. Foul trouble does not deter them. They have enough players where they don't lose much when they sub or get in a tough situation.
Shot clock at 5. Bamgboye launches, no good. Put back by Furman, no good. Ball tipped around. Furman gets it back. Right place, right time. Well, this is now a 14-point lead, largest of the night for VCU.
But we've done enough games here to know it happens pretty fast.
Everything's bouncing the right way for VCU.
Keep Furman just like a pogo stick, just so long. Zeb Jackson there. They just reckless abandon. They just attack the rim. It's one of the keys for UMass. They have to dominate the paint. Rebounding was a part of that. You know, they're an exceptional rebounding team on the offensive side, but they're going to have to do it defensively here with this group.
Rivera double team, leaves it inside. Garen Gombe, or excuse me, Abdel Goad, he could not convert. There's a 3 from the right wing by Russell. Well, they're just exploding right now from beyond the arc, and it's giving them a runaway lead. It's a 15-0 run, and Bamgboye with the steal, and it's stripped away by Rivera.
You mentioned that 71 possessions that Massachusetts get, but you're playing against a juggernaut in the Siegel Center that wants to get up and down the floor. Tempo may not be the best thing for you, unfortunately, because they do it well.
Rivera inside. That's a good look. Bamgboye is able to lay that one in.
Rivera is very crafty inside. Just got that strong body. Just works it till he finds an angle for himself.
Bamgboye with the offensive board. Russell for three. No good. And Zeb Jackson's going to run it down, and a foul called, I believe, against Furman of VCU. Darren Gumball will check in for UMass. Worthy's back in. Hankins Sanford is back in.
This might have been the calmest I've ever seen Frank Martin.
Calm on the outside, not
calm
so much
on the
inside.
outside. But isn't he great to hang out with?
He's
today, I mean, just
very cool
class
to hang out
act. Just a class act. Just a tremendous person. He's got some great views on NIL and what should be done, fairness in the business, and I think people should listen to him.
Well, he won 20 games last year. He had some really good players, and a lot of them transferred. Hankins Sanford.
Yeah, it's a tough business right now. They got a lot of different changes hopefully coming down the pike that can kind of get some of this stuff under control. Look at this activity.
It's just pinballing around, and Russell is going to be called for the foul. Free throws, and we get back 28-13.
Oklahoma State. I mean, just a big-time job of what they've been able to do at West Virginia with that young man.
And Flagg is obviously a very good player for Duke. As Bamgboye is able to convert the first free throw, missed the second one, and Clark lost it out of bounds. He and Foster were battling for that loose ball.
I was saying people may not like me for that one, since I said Auburn was so good, right? It's obviously because of Janai Brooms. But
they have some balance, though.
They have some, but Cooper Flagg, in the world of transfers, and as Rick Pitino says, quote-unquote grown men, Cooper Flagg has been absolutely dominant, right? Good as advertised, and I just think that that kid is special.
Bamgboye is able to kiss that one off the glass. 28-16, 12-point lead with 7:45 to play here in the first half.
Waiting to get this crowd. The crowd really hasn't gotten into the game, Tom. You know, they're just methodically. VCU's just methodically taking UMass apart right now.
Little dribble drive. They pull the defense in. Clark for three, off by a pretty wide margin.
Yeah, not a good shot there, contested. Clark had a fantastic game last game out. Probably wants that shot back. I mean, how long has he been in college basketball? About 20 years?
Well, he started at LaSalle. Last year with Clemson in the Elite Eight.
Was NC State one year with Kevin State.
Yeah.
Young man's, he's been around. I'd say he's a great kid. Had a chance to talk with some people close to the program. Tremendous kid. Wasn't able to get the program until September until he got eligible.
Right.
So he missed some time, but he's fit in quite nicely.
Bamgboye lost that one out of bounds. He thought he was fouled. 8 on the shot clock. Oh, there we go.
Man, look at that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even fathom, right, playing college basketball, and that was my life. But at the same time,
he's gotten to see the world.
I would always say, man, what would it be like to play at a school with 50,000 students, or what would it be like to play on the West Coast? You know, you always think that as a player, and they can do it now.
They can do it now. Hankins Sanford missed the shot, gets it back, blocked away by Clark, out of bounds. It remains UMass basketball.
It's what makes them so special. Not only are they a team that can make 10 threes a game, but if you make any type of mistake and don't guard your yard, you can get some help from the interior because they got guys that can block shots.
But 8 time on the shot clock, even though the student section is counting it down. Ball blocked away by Bamgboye. And it's going to be VCU basketball. UMass has done a nice job not turning the ball over in this game. That's just the 4th turnover for Frank Martin's team.
Yeah, definitely not turning it over, but certainly has not made a 3 yet. They don't shoot the ball well, but they haven't been able to get that second shot, get on the offensive glass, which is what they're known for.
Jennings hands it off to Shulga. Shulga, a little hesitation down to the baseline. Jennings speeds into the paint. Bamgboye for 3, no good. But an offensive board by Bamgboye. Bamgboye has it stripped away. He'll get it back, rolling on the floor. Jennings going up, draws the contact, nothing called. Ball is loose, out of bounds.
VCU is just playing with so much passion right now. They're getting to every loose ball. I'm sure that would draw the ire of Coach Martin. Just getting their hands on everything. Tom, you see Jennings driving to the rim. Ball's definitely out on him, and they're going to extend that pressure. They're not going to leave anything on the table. They realize there's a big game on Saturday. Trust me, everyone in this building knows that. Talk to their SID, and they said that game's been sold out for a very, very long time. But who would have thought it would be for first place in Atlantic 10?
Yeah, sold out homecoming this Saturday. Diggins picked on a double team. Mohammed. And I think they're going to get him for a traveling violation. 5 turnovers now for UMass.
And Diggins found him on the dump. A hard straight line to the basket, a rim run. But again, shuffled his feet.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, definitely shuffled his feet. Stay on balance. He could have gotten fouled and one. Ooh!
Bamgboye was lurking and then jams it home.
Open up the floor, and a good team that keeps their head up and savvy like this group is very dangerous.
4 points for Bamgboye. Marquis Worthy bringing the ball up, covered by Jennings. 5:20 to play, near steal.
Not to make excuses for UMass, but you can just see their step slow, right? They just look like they're a step slow. Watched them on tape a number of times.
And Worthy has the ball go over the backboard.
Joe Bamgboye again. Look at the seal by Bamgboye. And he goes up with the easy dunk. So athletic. Muhammad wasn't able to get around and provide some resistance.
Yeah, he was taken out of the game almost immediately. Diggins for 3. Has it blocked by Jennings. Jennings feeds Clark. Clark feeds Bamgboye. You talked about UMass being a half a step off or so. VCU, it doesn't matter who's on the floor, they click as a team.
That's why they're so good, and Diggins, so good. That's what he can do, get into the lane and make those circus shots. But VCU clicking on all cylinders, playing together, sharing the basketball, in sync. This group, very experienced group, I might add. Not this young man, but he's got a bright future.
Bamgboye thought about the 3, instead goes into the paint, outside for Clark for 3. It's good. Rivera to the baseline. Rivera cut off on the double team. There's a lot of traffic down there, and an offensive foul called on Rivera.
When it rains, it pours. Everything working. Look at this freshman right here with the great block. But how about the pass? Jack Clapton's head up. Jab sandwich. Guy Bamgboye going up. They just find a way, and then when they play with tempo, one of the most beautiful things to watch in the country is this team, and how dare they say they're on the bubble, Tom. This team is good enough to be in the NCAA tournament.
Well, again, we'll see what happens on Saturday. Furman on the alley-oop lob from Shulga. 19-point lead. It stretches to the largest of the night. They've got 10 assists so far in this first half. And Diggins is pushed by Jackson. That'll be the 3rd foul on Jackson. 3:34
Listen,
to play.
I don't know a lot of things. This place is going to be rocking, but let's get this Cinderella. I'm telling you right now, any one of these teams could beat anybody in college basketball. You see right there, sandwiched in the two, VCU and George Mason. I can't wait. The A-10, they should definitely get multiple teams in. But I'm like, listen, two of the oldest teams in the country, VCU and George Mason, are going to lock horns in the Civic Center. In the Siegel Center, and I'm going to be here. I'm in Richmond all week. You got to give me some places to go.
You're going to be visiting,
hanging out,
visiting every hot spot in Richmond this week.
I'm here all week. Richmond, holla at me. We're going to be right
find
here.
them on social media. Tell them where you should go. There you see the top 3 teams in the Atlantic 10. Even with Dayton's struggles,
still a tough team.
Yeah,
Anthony Grant, great coach. But just had some tough losses in league, and it just goes to show you how tough this league is. We did the game with St. Louis, when VCU played in St. Louis, and I don't know what VCU team that was. Certainly not the one that's playing right now, but it shows you what the job that Josh Church is doing in St. Louis.
Diggins missed the front end of the 1-and-1. 3:30 to play. Shulga with the rebound. Hill in the game for the first time for VCU. He's another freshman, doesn't get as much playing time, but we had a game earlier this year where he shot the lights out. Shulga's just distributing now.
Yeah, in the short corner. We used to run that play when I was a coach, coming along the baseline with that back screen. Odom's a very good coach. I do like going zone by UMass to kind of slow them up a little bit, but got to provide more resistance than what they're doing right now.
Diggins for 3, no good. He's been cool from the floor. Here comes Shulga again. His eyes are up. Bounce pass baseline. Hill tries to lay it, and he does.
Tom, this kid right here from the West Coast, Portland, Oregon, he can score the basketball. Signed with Utah State when Odom was at Utah State as a junior, and they brought him here to VCU. He's got a really bright future. I like both their guards, he and Jennings.
Jingay tries to find inside the big man Damjanec, but he can't convert. Jingay is going after Damjanec right now, telling him you got to go up strong on that. Here's Hill.
That's straight off Instagram right there. Right? Yeah. That's how they do it right there. Yeah, do little dribbling drills, little layup drills. That's just a pretty move right there. This kid here can score the basketball. Really like the job they're doing recruiting.
See 12 assists on 17 field goals so far. The inbounds goes to Rivera. Rivera fakes the handoff, caught in a double team, got some space, and he lays it in.
Yeah. Again, clip after clip, you watch him. That's what he can do. Once he gets his balance, very athletic, finds a way to maneuver and score the basketball in the interior.
Dumbia in for the first time for UMass. They've used a lot of players here tonight. Bamgboye swings it to the corner. Clark for 3. It's good.
They're just clicking on all cylinders.
It's a 24-point game. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Adam Zucker, Wally Zerbiak, Roy Hibbert, and John Rosti will get you caught up on all the action around college basketball. Plus, we'll have first half stats and highlights. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Already 8 3-pointers.
Unbelievable.
For VCU.
Wally probably wish he was playing in this game right now because he's never seen a shot he didn't like, Tom. That's for sure.
I think that's the pot calling the kettle black right there.
Got a great crew in. I know Brent's probably upset. This K-State guys took it on the chin the other day. He'll probably send me a text before halftime is over for that one. But
Dumbia lost it up top, hands it off to Rivera. Shot clock at 7. Rivera off the high screen. Rivera into the paint, off the glass, no good. Hill with the rebound.
A good job by Jack Clark, standing his ground. That's what you have to do because Rivera, again, is so canny getting in there. That backdoor pass is there all game long. Good defense by UMass.
Shulga stepped out of bounds, according to Ted Valentine.
Just things are all, up 24. Everything's clicking VCU's way right now. It looks like they reversed the call, Tom.
Yeah, Sean Hull came in. I don't know.
I think they got
it right
that
the first time.
Huh.
Heading toward the 1-minute mark here of the first half.
Playing zone to try to keep them out of the lane, out of the paint. Bamgboye, wow pass.
He fed whoever it was in the first row. It was an excellent pass to the gentleman with the mullet in the first row.
I hope he didn't hit someone with their popcorn in one hand and their Coke in the other. That would have been problematic.
There he is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Under a minute to play.
We can borrow something from him, a little hair from him, right? Both of us?
Well, yeah. We do have hair envy. Here we go.
There we go. There we go.
That ball was coming right your way, and I know if you had your hands on it, you would have shot it from midcourt.
I definitely would have got me one up. You kidding me? I think I can make it from here. No problems. You see right there? I was ready. I was ready. Hands ready. It's called that shot ready.
You were not.
They call that shot ready. That's what they call it.
I don't know if that
shot
was total
ready.
Shot ready. 40 seconds left to play. Rivera slams it home with one hand. He's going to get a technical. Yeah, there it is. Teddy Valentine. He did taunt after he made the shot.
Just frustration. Just frustration. I'm sure Coach Martin is frustrated as well, but he went up the elevator on Furman. See, his knee may be bothering, but not right there. Looking like the mighty Thor with a hammer. Go Gadget dunk on him. My goodness. Rivera.
So Shulga will shoot the technical. Converts the first one.
Just a lot of lethargy on that UMass bench. Got a feel for those guys traveling. It's snowing. They may be stuck here. You know, it's just one of those tough times of the year.
Yeah, now VCU will get the ball back after the two technicals. Rivera will check out. He has 3 fouls now after that technical.
Missing Jalen Curry as well, one of their better guards. It's just tough. Just a tough, but you got to gut through it. Got to gut through it. This team is still pretty good. They're just playing against a team that's destined for greatness right now.
Yeah, Curry's out with the wrist injury. Akeel Watson is out with a knee injury. 10 seconds left. Hill, shot clock is at 5. Hill off the screen, swings it to Bamgboye, gets his feet set, lets it go, no good. And the rebound by Diggins, gets it to Hankins Sanford. He's going to run out of time. And that will be the end of the first half. VCU, total domination from beyond the arc as they take a 46-22 lead into the half.
I've never seen them play this well. I mean, obviously, I think UMass could play better, and I think Frank Martin probably had a nice little talk with his group, and they're going to have to come out and fight. And I think that's what they'll do. But VCU, they know what's on deck Saturday for sure.
All right, so we begin the second half. UMass with the basketball. Worthy leading the point, covered up by Russell. They got to somehow get Diggins involved. Diggins is 2 for 11 so far. Worthy along the baseline, leaves it inside. And Jingay can't convert. He'll get his own rebound. Nope, it's taken away by Russell.
You saw that graphic also, 6 blocks.
Right.
And that's what they do so well. One of the best in the country. It's just, they just not only block shots, but they alter shots as well.
The leaders for VCU. Shulga leads the way with 14. His pass is bobbled into the hands of Bamgboye. Up top for Russell. To the corner for Clark. He likes that shot. That's why. 9 threes for VCU.
It's like target practice. That's his 3rd shot from the corner, and it becomes down to they share the basketball so well. Worthy, they can get him going. That'll be great. Another guard option other than Diggins, who struggled thus far.
Yeah, Marquis Worthy out of Anaheim, California.
He's a long way from home.
Yeah, until he went to college, he had never been any farther north than North Carolina. A lot of snow in Amherst right now.
Spent 4 years there as assistant coach with our colleague, Mr. Steve Lapis, so I know all about that snow.
Bamgboye off the mark, and the rebound is taken down by Hankins Sanford. Here's Jingay, right side of the lane. Jingay caught off. Hankins Sanford for 3, short, and out of bounds. Again, 0 for 5 now from beyond the arc.
But that shot being flat, that's just showing you what UMass has been today. And again, that whole crew, not to make excuses for them, Tom. I'm certainly not that guy to make excuses, but they've had a bug that's gone through their program, and it just shows they're just a step slow. They're a little bit more sharper than this. And couple that with the injuries, it's just very tough for like a team like VCU, particularly in this building.
Shulga fouled away from the basket. Diggins called for that foul.
Ryan Odom's just done an exceptional job with this program. See him right there, just backing him down. He's a big guard that can post up. But every coach that's been at VCU has been successful. This is a, I know they talk about the A-10 and what kind of job this is. You see their facilities. We went through their facilities today. This is a big-time job. They do a great job with NIL as well. I mean, it is serious here. That Final Four banner is hanging up there for a reason.
Rivera backing his way in, caught in a double team. Jingay for three, no good. And Bamgboye with the rebound and a foul called on Hankins Sanford.
Great job coming back. Number 1, Daniel Hankins Sanford is whistled for his first personal.
Keep an eye on Russell and Rivera. Russell for VCU, Rivera for UMass. They're jawing at each other as they were going up the floor.
Yeah, Russell's already gotten, Rivera's already gotten the technical fouls, so he's got to be careful.
Bamgboye did not have the right angle for the basket. The rebound taken down by Hankins Sanford. UMass 0 for 6 from beyond the arc so far. Worthy has it blocked partially by Clark, I believe. Here comes Shulga. Shulga leaves it for Russell. Russell for three, no good. And Jingay pulls down the weak side board. 17 minutes to play. Hankins Sanford got his bearing.
Wow.
Shot blocked away by Bamgboye. And then he comes back and helps misdirect the second shot.
Impeccable timing. Just when you thought you finally got an easy one, he comes out of nowhere and he erases it.
Little shot fake by Bamgboye under the basket. Bamgboye foul going up. That'll be a foul on Diggins, his second one. Think about this, 24 consecutive winning seasons, 7 different head coaches.
Amazing. Got Mike Rose at Penn State, Henry Grant left here, went to Alabama.
Will Wade, Shaka Smart.
Went to LSU, Shaka went to Texas. It's just been a fertile ground for success.
Look at the teams that they've joined in that category, with Kansas leading the way with 41.
Gonzaga with Mark Few. He took over a successful program as well. It's just Michigan State, obviously Tom Izzo, they're having a great year this year. You see a lot of the older coaches retiring and leaving the game, and he's one of those guys, he's almost been reinvigorated, and not using the NIL as a crutch, and he's found a way to get the Spartans moving and grooving.
So Bamgboye to the free throw line. He has 6 points. He'll get a couple free throws here. And in and out with the first one.
Number 21, Christian Furman returns to the
Furman checks back in. Bamgboye checks out. Bamgboye, by the way, 5 blocks so far tonight. That ties his career high.
Really good recruit. They've done a tremendous job here. And I'll tell you another thing they've done a tremendous job. If you want to win in college basketball today, Tom, they can talk about the portal, but you got to have retention. You got to be able to keep your good players, and I think that's what VCU did a tremendous job of. They added Russell for sure, but Bamgboye. They added Clark, but they kept Shulga, Furman. They got some really good players, Zeb Jackson, and that's the key right now to winning in college basketball.
Rivera falls to the floor. Clark bumps him.
Coach Martin having a nice little conversation with Ted Valentine.
First foul on VCU. He did have his hands on him. Now, it was a really good sell.
Yeah, he don't like Coach doesn't seem too happy. He says, listen, I know they're shooting the basketball well, and we're not playing well, but we're not having that. Frank Martin, tough guy. Been knowing him a very long time from his days at Miami Senior High School.
It is an incredible story. Shot clock is at 3. They kick it out. Diggins 4-3, no good. Rivera with the rebound. Gets everybody off their feet, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2. 0 for 7 from beyond the arc.
Just tough from behind the arc. It's going to be hard to win this game, to keep it in the balance if you can't make a shot. But Rivera is doing a tremendous job. Such an athlete of rising up and getting himself to the foul line. You were talking about Frank Martin. That's, you know, just you're right. It's a great story of a guy who became a high school coach. And I said, Coach, you were a high school coach. I was at Vanderbilt recruiting players. And the next thing you know, you're the head coach of Kansas State.
First free throw is good. Mentioned that Rasul Diggins coming into today's game had a chance, or has a chance, to reach 1,000 points for his career, but he's been held to 4. He's gotten open looks, but he hasn't been able to convert.
It just hasn't been his night thus far. We still got 16 minutes to go. He can get heated up pretty quick.
Rivera's second shot, no good. Rebound tipped around. Jackson with the rebound.
One thing for sure, it's a 40-minute game. These kids have a lot of pride. I know Coach Martin has instilled that inside of them. They're going to make a run here at some point.
Jackson off the screen. Inside for Bell. Tough bounce pass for Furman. Corrals it. Doesn't get it to roll. And Hankins Sanford may have hit that while it was on the cylinder. But nothing called. Diggins. Little jab step.
Just got to move the basketball a little bit quicker. The ball's not whipping around as much as it needs to be. Good backdoor pass.
Hankins Sanford in the paint. Gets the bounce a few times.
They got a nice little pass, a cutter, a drive. That's what it's going to take. You got to make this VCU team move.
Said Jackson can't convert. Diggins with the rebound. Jackson thought he was fouled going up. Under 15 to play here in the second half.
Got a couple of stops. We'll see if they can get a basket here. Kind of cut into this lead. 4-minute timeout by 4-minute timeout.
VCU with a little help defense. They go to the corner for Jingay. Jingay into the paint. Jingay's runner is good.
They got something working here, because you got to double Rivera, because he's so hard to deal with one-on-one. If he can skip it and get those drives to the rim, certainly helpful for the minute.
50-29, 14 and a half to play. Russell looking. Working off the screen by Furman. Russell leaves it to the corner for Shulga for 3. Yes, it's good. 5 threes for Shulga.
It's great action, great recognition by Russell to find him on the skip.
Boy, that's a tough shot for Rivera.
Tough shot. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, another block for VCU. Shulga going right to the rim, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Furman. Both these programs have a storied history. So the John Calipari shot, Frank Martin, Ryan Odom. Frank, of course, from coached in South Carolina, where Ryan Odom's dad, Dave, also coached at South Carolina.
There's so many things that tie these guys. John Calipari, very young-looking John Calipari. As I mentioned earlier, I worked at UMass for 4 years, and before they built the Mullins Center, Tom, they had a place called the Cage.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I love the job that Coach Cal has done. I know he's got billions of dollars in NBA draft picks, but him going to the Final Four from the Cage, I tell you, that was the best job you ever done in college basketball.
Shot clock is under 10. Rivera in the paint near the logo. Shot clock at 5. Count the bucket. He'll go to the free throw line.
He's tough to deal with. Again, you watch game after game, and that's what he does. You look at the power in his legs. He's crafty and nifty inside. Can play through contact. See Bell there just coming down. He just goes right through contact and puts himself on the line for a little change.
Yeah, so Rivera, the transfer from Bryant, he averaged 13 points per game at Bryant. He's averaged over 17 for UMass here in the month of, or excuse me, last year he averaged over 17 in the month of March for Bryant. Bryant coached by Philip Martelli, doing a great job with that program
They're in first place right now.
First place, yep.
Tremendous job.
Shulga foul going up. And he'll get a couple of free throws. That's his third personal foul. Hankins Sanford.
This game holds serve. VCU is clearly looking forward to what's happened on Saturday. That is going to be fantastic for this league.
Yeah, George Mason is an excellent team.
Yes.
Tony Skinn's done a great job with them. That they're physical inside, which is going to be interesting to see how they'll match the athleticism inside of VCU. I think that's going to be one of the best parts of that game on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be a war, that's for sure. I mean, we had a chance to, when we did the George Mason game for Dayton, I mean, it was, oof.
It was a great game.
So first time really seeing what, we're not surprised that George Mason's doing what they're doing.
Diggins cut off up top for Rivera. Game clock under 13 minutes. Inside for Foster. Foster up off the glass. It's good.
A really good sequence of driving stand under control. Foster with the one hand, 1 foot layup. They're playing a little bit more spunk. You can see this UMass team. I'm sure Coach Martin's gotten into them a little bit.
Yeah, the lead is 21. Furman to a cutting Jennings. Jennings cut off by Diggins. Uses his left. Bell gets the rebound. Fresh 20. Jackson open. Goes right to the rim. Tough shot. Tipped out. And Jennings will run it down. Another offensive board for VCU.
Yeah, things are just all going the Rams' way right now.
Shulga's fouled on the floor for UMass. That's the 15th foul. It'll go against Worthy.
Worthy, again, knowing that Shulga's knocked down. The number of threes tonight was there, but just a little too aggressive. But one of the keys, Tom, was to force them to make threes. I don't think they had to force them tonight. They just haven't had really any clean looks. And if Diggins doesn't score, it's just going to be really tough for UMass to win.
Well, that's credit, too, to VCU. I mean, Diggins has had some shots, but he has not been able to convert tonight. Rivera leaves it for Diggins. Extra pass for Hankins Sanford. Back to Diggins. Shulga's been on Diggins most of the night.
Got a bigger guard on him, but Diggins just hasn't been himself. He can score the basketball with anybody in this league.
Jennings picks the pocket. Jennings leaves it for Jackson. Jackson was able to corral it along the baseline.
I mean, any other game that would be a turnover. They're just not making any mistakes tonight. VCU.
Shulga step back three. It is no good. And Rivera pulls down the rebound.
Shocking that didn't go in. Every single thing this young man has shot today has gone in.
Foster for three. No good. Still, they have not converted a three-pointer tonight. Jennings thought about it. Instead, tries to penetrate. Three new players are at the scorer's table for VCU. Jennings got to pass the ball around. Furman, size advantage. Furman spinning. Furman, turnaround shot, no good. Shulga with the rebound. Furman takes the pass from Shulga, and he kind of short-armed that.
Part of you think that, listen, you little guys, I'm one of those little guys, you fight those bigs in there. It's hard to get up under you like that. That center of gravity is harder to score on them than you think. Unless it's Shaq, of course.
Jingay, left side of the lane, inside for Hankins Sanford, and he's able to lay that one comfortably in.
Yeah, if I'm Ryan Odom, you see four guys at the scorer's table looking to come in. Let's get some reserves in. Let's keep this intensity up. Let's not get lulled to sleep here.
Diggins called for the foul. That's the third on him. It's a little more distinguished now.
Yeah,
a little bit more distinguished.
A little pepper. A little salt and pepper going on there. Not like me and you, though. If they show pictures of us.
I had a good head of hair.
You showed me a picture today. You had a head of hair. You're right about that. I saw your son on TV. I mean, I thought it was twins. I'm like, but he was like 9 feet tall, though.
He is a very large human being.
He did a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. All right, here's Bamgboye. He'll inbound the basketball. By choice. This is by choice right here, folks. The cul-de-sac is coming in rather thick.
Cul-de-sac.
Bamgboye from the corner for three. It's good. 3 points. 3-point shooting has been through the roof tonight for VCU.
Oh, how about the pressure? Coach is not letting up. He probably did not like what he saw during that 4-minute sequence. Hey guys, let's pick this up. We're not playing against UMass. We're playing against ourselves here. Let's keep this energy up. Stop playing the clock.
Russell called for that foul. Then he immediately goes toward the bench to Ryan Odom and says, no, I don't want to come out. I don't want to come out. See the opponent's points per game, 63.3 allowed. Now at home, they allow just under 58 points per game.
Yes, certainly one of the best in the country. This is a tough place to play. Hasn't been very loud because, again, UMass has not been able to provide much resistance. But when they do stuff like that, Jack Clark is 6'10". Like, I'm telling you, they're such a versatile team, athletic team. And you know who's been quiet tonight? Bill Russell. I mean, he's another guy. And they have a lot of weapons. A very dangerous team.
Worthy forces his way down along the baseline and is able to get it to go. 9 minutes to play, second half. 61-38. VCU trying to pick up its 21st win of the season.
Frank Martin, he said, guys, we're gonna bury this tape. We're not gonna watch it. We're gonna get on the plane, get back to Amherst.
Bamgboye was trying to come up with a thunderous slam, but instead he went to the floor. Rivera working against Russell.
And there was no way UMass is going to allow that to happen.
And Foster has it blocked away by Bamgboye. Here comes Bamgboye. 63-38, 8:15 to play. 10 blocks tonight for VCU.
I don't know if VCU's trying to send a message to George Mason, but they're up by a lot and they're keeping that full court pressure on. Foot is on the gas.
Rivera turnaround jumper is good over the top of Clark.
He's so savvy in there. He just finds a way.
And again, they weren't sure how much he would play tonight because of the knee problem he's had.
Yeah, kudos to him. He's played well. But that's the issue for sure.
Bamgboye in the paint. Bamgboye is able to spin his way toward the basket and lay it in. 7.5. Bamgboye with 14.
Well, one thing I know for sure, this is not the UMass team that we've seen all year long. And I'm sure Coach Martin is not happy. They're going to have to regroup. This team is much better than that. You know, just understand that. Oh, wow.
How about that? Count the bucket. 65-42. And a free throw when we return. And the rest of VCU will go along the lane as the free throw for Rivera off this timeout.
It's about pride right now, Tom. That's what it's about. It's about pride. There's still a lot of tape. There's 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go to show, again, to continue to get better. You know, forget about the score. It's not about looking at the scoreboard right now. It's about, for instance, UMass basketball is what they need to play and just get better every single time.
Yeah, Rivera now with 15 as he converts that free throw. And VCU back on offense. Russell has 4 fouls, so he takes a seat for VCU. Hill is back in. Zeb Jackson to Clark, up top to Hill. Bamgboye, step back jumper. It's good. He splashed it home for 3. 13 3-pointers tonight for VCU.
They are not letting up the pressure. So I'm saying you got to play for 40 minutes. No matter what the scoreboard is, UMass has to continue to play because the team in white certainly is.
Yeah, they've done a heck of a job on Diggins. Again, he averages over 22 points per game in Atlantic 10 play.
playing one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Shot clock at 3. Worthy's runner, no good. Jackson with the rebound, and he's fouled.
Bamgboye can be a wild card. I mean, sometimes he takes tough shots, but he is a tough shot maker. Can get to the rim with his athleticism. We've seen some acrobatic dunks tonight, but he can knock down the triple. And as much as people talk about Shulga, he will be a first-team All-League player. Bamgboye is the leading scorer on this team.
Okay, you see the standings again. George Mason is off this week, leading up to the game here at the Siegel Center on Saturday at 4 o'clock. Both teams over 20 wins. And now Zeb Jackson will go to the free throw line off that foul. It's fronted to the 1-and-1. Got to make sure all the jerseys are tucked in. And he converts the first one. He'll get a second shot.
Had some great conversations about Zeb Jackson, the type of kid that he is. Very close with his mom. It was just listening to them talk about him was refreshing when you hear these stories. You know, not that college basketballs get a negative rap right now, because it's just different for everybody. But it's nice to hear those stories about kids that are doing things the right way. You have Bamgboye with his app that he's using NIL money with the mental illness app that he created. Just some really good things happening for some of these kids, and I think people should focus a little bit more on that and not focus on some of the other stories. Oh my goodness!
Bamgboye with another block as Worthy misses the follow. Jackson leaves it for Bamgboye. Bamgboye heads toward the basket, slices through the defense and lays it in.
At some point, Coach O's got to call the dogs off, because this thing is getting pretty ugly right now. They are just so talented, so deep. Saturday is going to be a beast.
It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. Two very good teams.
I wish you could be here with me, brother. But
yeah,
you're going to be
two well-coached teams.
You're going to be doing the baseball thing?
Little baseball
is that
thing
thing
going
you do,
on.
like the baseball thing?
Little baseball.
Little baseball thing, okay.
5:10 to play. Fats Phillips is going to check in for VCU. Here's Clark wide open for 3. Left open, and he's able to nail another three-pointer.
He's picking off where he left off against George Mason. I mean, George Washington, shall I say. Wow. They're playing like this. Not many teams in the country could beat this team, but certainly not in this building.
Worthy off the screen. Worthy from 17 may have been partially blocked by Bamgboye. It's out of bounds. They're going to say no, it was not touched. Take a look at this block earlier.
Look at that timing. 1 foot, 1 shot. Jack Clark, it's like shooting drill. It's like playing horse. That jumper is smooth. One of the most experienced teams in the country. Long, athletic, they defend, they play together. Have not lost in this building this year.
Yeah, one of 14 teams in Division I basketball unbeaten at home. Hill step back 18-footer, no good. And Hankins Sanford's run down the rebound. Here's Diggins. Diggins has been quiet tonight. It's a credit to the defense on him. He'll launch a 3, no good. And Bell with the rebound. He's fouled by Hankins Sanford. And that'll send Michael Bell to the line. Diggins with 4 points tonight.
Just one of those nights, you know, I'd like to give credit to VCU because they've done a phenomenal job. But so at the end of the day, he just missed some shots, too.
He has, yep.
Some shots that he normally makes. Just has not been his night. It's going to be nights like that because he's been on fire lately. And tonight, it's just a different game. No Jalen Curry makes it easier to, you know, to have a game plan geared to stop him. But I'm sure this Philly kid, no excuses coming from him. It's just not his night.
Yeah, so he'll go after his 1,000th career point this weekend against George Washington. Bell's second shot no good. Rebound by Jinge.
Well, that's an interesting point. We've talked about that. That could be something that's the pressure of making that 1,000 shot. 1,000 point could have been on his mind and just been a tough night tonight.
And Hill fouls him. 3:57 to play in the second half.
It is tough to beat this group, and let's not forget about my guy Jack Clark. He's knocked down 4 of them as well. What a night. I'm sorry, 5 of them as well. This has been unbelievable.
Off this timeout, there's 3 minutes and 57 seconds left to play. It's 76-45. Shulga's night is most likely done. We've seen this story before where they've run out to these large advantages, and they've been able to sit their regular players for most of the last 10 minutes of the game. So Bamgboye and Shulga, Zeb Jackson, those guys are taking a seat on the bench. Clark as well. Actually, Jackson is back in.
You got to give him credit. You got to give Coach Odom credit. You know, you mentioned in the open, could be a trap game. I've seen this happen before. They had the discipline and to come out and to stick to it, is to really play at a high level and take care of business ahead of what will be probably the biggest game of the season.
Had a great game for the Atlantic 10 as well to showcase those two very good programs. You know, VCU and Dayton had a great game last week at UD Arena. Man. And this is going to be similar.
This place is going to be electric.
Little pressure by UMass. Under 4 minutes to play. Hill gets across the timeline. Couple seconds to spare.
I said before, like, this team is a shell of who they normally are, and the best is yet to come. And look for them. And I keep saying DC, and that's where the A-10 conference tournament will be. That's going to be something to see. Trust me, because there's a lot of teams that are really, really good, and it comes down to matchups in those situations.
Foul underneath. That foul is going to go against VCU. It'll send Abdul Goad to the free throw line.
Personal foul is charged number 6, Terrence Hill.
Terrence Hill called for the foul. That's his second.
Coach March still coaching. A lot of success as a head coach. Took South Carolina to the Final Four. It was a great run by that group. He told some great stories. He's had some players. Coach Michael Beasley.
And Boye has the pass cut off. He just said, my bad. Here comes Jinge. Jinge to the corner.
Look at the way they recover and sprint to players. So much length.
And Diggins is pushed out of bounds by Fats Billups. And it'll give him another trip to the free throw line. That's his first foul. It's the 19th foul for VCU. So Diggins will have a front end of a 1-and-1.
Diggins, 1 plus the bonus.
76-47. Diggins, the most improved player in the Atlantic 10 last year. And he converts the first one. He'll get a second one. CBS Sports Network's coverage of college hoops continues next as Illinois State hosts in-state rival Bradley. Then catch Mountain West leader New Mexico square off with Boise State at 10 Eastern time.
We'll get to see Richard Pitino Jr. I said his dad was the coach of the year, but I'll tell you this, his son
is
not far behind. The job that he did losing 2 elite players, J.T. Toppin, who's been tremendous for Texas Tech, Jamal Mashburn Jr., who's at Temple, and Donovan Dent and Nelly Jr. Joseph has taken that program to great heights. And Tom, I must say, they gave me a hard time about this in the studio. I used to work in New Mexico too, in Albuquerque.
Well, you have been around.
I've been a few places.
Been walking the walk all over the place.
That's a great segue. See, that's why you're the play-by-play guy. You're so quick.
2.5 to play. Billups thought about it. Goes to the free throw line for Bell. Bell in the paint. That was just way too easy. 78-49. And again, the pressure by VCU. Darren Gomba waves Foster through.
Yeah, keep playing hard. This is moments for some of the other guys that don't get out there as much. They want something on tape too. They want to be able to show coach, hey, this is why I'm working hard in practice every day. Get my opportunity.
Upcoming schedule for VCU. We mentioned the big game coming up this weekend here at the Siegel Center against George Mason. Then at Richmond, the return game. They handled it pretty well here. They wrap up at home against Dayton. That's still one important ball game.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of season left. Only a few games, but a lot of implications on those games. Everybody, you know what everyone's doing right now, Tom? They're rooting against other teams right now. That's what's happening. They're watching the bubble, all the prognosticators. They're rooting for and rooting against.
Hill is stumbling in the paint, and he's going to go to the free throw line. A tripping foul is called on UMass. I think it's Hankins Sanford, and that's his 5th. Watching him today at shoot around, you can see there he got his foot caught up. Everything was yes sir, yes sir. And there it is, the foot was out. We'll send Hill to the free throw line. 13 points against LaSalle a couple weeks ago. And he rattles the first one home. He'll get a second one.
This kid has a chance to be a very good player. We were here doing the game, and he's really scored the basketball.
Yeah, you think about the projected backcourt for the future would be Jennings and Hill. They're out there right now.
I mean, that's a pretty good backcourt.
Yeah. And think about how long the front line is, the back line is, with Okafor in as the center now.
They're going to be in good hands.
That's Phillips. And he has the ball knocked away by Foster out of bounds. It'll remain VCU basketball. The standings in the Atlantic 10. So we give VCU the victory. That is updated. We'll drop UMass to 6-8. Still a little logjam. All those teams with just 6 wins. Jennings off the pass. And a rebound is pulled down by UMass. 1 minute to play.
1 minute remaining.
80-49. And the fans here at the Siegel Center are starting to come to their feet to applaud their team. It's been snowing all day here in Richmond, so they weren't sure what the crowd was going to be like tonight.
Still ended up being a decent crowd. Shows you enthusiasm and love that they have for this program.
Abdel Goad was the recipient of that bucket for UMass. VCU will have to shoot it one more time. About 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Hill and Jennings in the backcourt. Jennings knifes through the defense up top for Hill. Hill makes a bad miss. Phillips for 3, and it's no good. And the rebound is pulled down by the Minutemen. 6 seconds left. Now 2 seconds, and that is going to do it. VCU with a convincing tune-up before their game this weekend against George Mason. They win it by a final score of 80-51.